All right, so moving into like the last little bit of our list that we've gathered together, pretty much just our overall thoughts and feelings about the game, what's been shown so far, graphics, character models, and overall thoughts and expectations for the game based on what we've seen and also DLC anticipation. So I guess I'll go first just to wrap my thoughts up pretty quickly. My thoughts and feelings about the graphics and the character models. The graphics have never been a problem to me. Obviously, 2K22 is the best looking wrestling game we've ever gotten. Obviously, you know we got the new gen consoles and everything like that, so obviously it's going to get better. And I mean, it looks great on the PS4 because it was revealed that all the gameplay that has been shown so far has been from the PlayStation 4 perspective. So that's a good thing, definitely for sure. I don't really have too much of a problem with some of the models. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I know some people were talking about Charlotte's model looks weird, or some other characters look weird. I'm not too nitpicky crazy when it comes to stuff like that. If someone's nose is weird or lips are weird or anything like that, I guess when I get my hands on the game, it'll be a little different. But for the most part, the game looks great. The models look great. I know we've only got a handful of like character models we've seen, but everything looks great so far for me, truthfully. And you know, my overall thoughts and expectations for the game, I just want it to work. I want it to have longevity. I want it to be fun and not be repetitive. Number one thing with wrestling games, I remember when I was younger, bro, getting off the bus, coming home from school, the first thing I would do is hop on community creations, see what was dropped like that day or like within that week, and just download and just play, you know? Like, I haven't been able to do that in years. So being able to do that and just hop on with friends every now and then, I feel like it's pretty awesome. And I just, like I said, I just some longevity. I don't want repetitiveness. I don't want to hop on the game and regret starting a match because it's buggy or it's boring, and it's just I just want the game to have longevity, you know. And that's pretty much it for my thoughts and feelings about the graphics, character models, and just expectations for the game in general.
I mean, obviously, the game obviously looks beautiful. I don't. There's not too many games that 2K's released on the next gen consoles that haven't looked very good. But yeah, of course, the graphics look good. The gameplay looks promising. Just a matter of longevity at this point. I mean, hopefully, we're able to get a couple more than 4 or 5 months out of this game because
Yeah.
usually the game kind of dies out pretty quickly. And they've had some time to work on this game, so hopefully we can, have some fun and play for a little bit more extended time than we would to a typical yearly released game.
Yeah, definitely. Like right around that 4 to 5 month range is where things kind of dip off. So hopefully it is longer than that.
Longevity. The game has a lot to prove, especially because we've been waiting for 3 years. So the game has a lot to prove. Expectations are high. The pressure is high. 2K19 held down the fort because 2K20 was ass. So there's a lot. There's a lot rolling into this one game that that we are expecting, especially when it comes to graphics. It's like 2K20 took like a real big graphic hit where it was just really bad, and based off of what I saw for 2K22 with like the recent gameplay, the graphics and the models look really solid. I love the kind of new definition of like the skin complements that are happening. Charlotte's model at first, when I just saw a screenshot, looked really funky, and then I saw her in gameplay, and it's honestly pretty spot on. Um, I do have a lot of hope for the game because of just how much time I am assuming they've put in this. With the release of Battlegrounds kind of giving them time to put work into 22, I am assuming that they put enough work into this to make this work and that this is good and that we're going to be great. I think the only question I wonder is like how does the scheduling for the dropping of the game work now? Because like we're so used to getting it every fall, we're about to get in March, and then my assumption is the next game won't be coming out until like I mean they have to give it a year, right? So my assumption is like it won't come out until next year's March or probably next year's fall, so they can go back to doing it every fall again. It's my assumption.
Yeah, like we all said, longevity is very important. And with the release date thing, I'm not 100% like sure what they're gonna do because I saw some creators on Twitter that went to the event to play the game early, saying like, I disagree with the like release a game a year miss a year, then come back again. So I don't know if that means that that's what they're planning to do, and they're just planning to throw out updates throughout the entirety of its existence until the next one
That's
comes
a
out.
lot of time, man.
Right, and that's what some of the creators were saying. They don't see them adding good enough updates to things like GM mode or just the general game to make it playable for another year and a half, 2 years until the next one comes out. So that was just a tweet I saw from one of the creators that went to the early gameplay that they were able to play. So hopefully that's not the case. Like I said,
I
some of
mean,
this. Oh, sorry. Go
if it
ahead.
produces a better game, then sure, but
Yeah, all for it, but it's just a long
if it's
wait.
able to last that long, then it's fine. But I don't see it lasting even the year, to be honest with you. But hopefully it does. Hopefully it holds up. And obviously DLC packs, right? Let's get into that.
Yeah, like to the DLCs, some have been uh, speculated upon or confirmed by certain creators that went to the events and played the games early, or like claim to have sources. This is all just anticipation. Nothing has been released officially from 2K yet in terms of DLC content, but I can assume, unfortunately, like NXT 2.0 will be a DLC, even though they've had enough time for it to be in the game. It's weird because they've had 2 years, almost three, to work on this game, and it's just weird because if NXT 2.0 isn't in your game, like the base game, like what is your cutoff date if that's the
I
case?
think I think that's like cutoff dates last year's WrestleMania.
Last year's WrestleMania, because Delzinski had released a video about the confirmed arenas in the game, and I watched it. And he said in the build he was playing, not all of them were available, but the ones he could mention were. He said Raw and SmackDown had three different versions. He said there was one for pre-pandemic, there was one for the pandemic, like in the Thunderdome and stuff, and there was the current one now. So that just lets me know that I mean, that was but yeah, like that's 3 years. So like within the past, I don't know, man. Yeah, you're right. It might be last year's
Yeah.
WrestleMania, the cutoff point, because up to this point, there's not going to be any new arenas. I don't think for like post WrestleMania of last year, 2021. After WrestleMania, I think that's where the arena.
I think they said that we're getting WrestleMania Backlash, so
Yeah,
that's the cutoff date then, the month after
Backlash.
WrestleMania.
Got it. So, but yeah, NXT 2.0 probably the arena, a couple superstars, Braun Breaker, whoever else.
D'Angelo, Carmelo
Yeah,
Hayes.
a lot of those guys. Hopefully so. I'm hoping a good bit of them are already on the roster, and they just, I don't
Yeah,
know.
the roster suffered a lot. They need those guys on the roster.
Right. And another speculation I saw of someone who apparently had sources that I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but people were talking about Umaga and the Boogeyman being a part of DLC packs, which I saw some people kind of negatively responding to because it's like these are guys we've had in the game before and we're just having to pay for them again. And it's kind of weird to throw these guys in there. Like, I'm all for the Boogeyman and Umaga being on the roster again, but to have to pay for them again, or not even again, but to have to pay for them just to bolster up their roster due to the amount of talent that's been released. I know there's still some released talent on the roster, but guys like Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, Keith Lee aren't going to be in the game due to contracts with AEW and stuff like that. So
I thought Keith Lee was in the game.
I'm actually not sure. I haven't seen Keith Lee be brought up as one of the people that's still in the game. I just assumed he wasn't because people like Adam and Bryan weren't in the game. But I think they might have left
Yeah,
around
they left a little bit earlier than
right.
Keith Lee.
The
Well,
Keith
Keith Lee
Lee
never left. Keith Lee
was
was
released. Yes. Right. So
and I think they said Karrion Kross is in the game, right?
oh
So
yeah,
if
Karrion Kross is in the game. Yeah. So
so then Keith Lee has to be in the game.
right. I think he just might be in the game. There were guys from Retribution, Mace and T-Bar, I think were confirmed. So I don't know if Mia Yim's going to be in it. There's a lot that goes into that. But Zaire, do you have any expectations or wants or things maybe outside of the box that you think they should go for with DLC?
DLC for WWE should strictly look like wrestlers that have yet to be in the game that we should be expecting in the following game or returning back to the game because I don't see a need in paying for wrestlers that we already have. So I'm thinking of a lot of legends, and a lot of future stars when it comes to down to like NXT. What would be more interesting again is going back to the idea of showcase. Showcase is not something that you kind of play back. You play it once and it's like you're done. To make that mode feel more useful, it would be nice maybe if we had a showcase, a couple of showcases attached. You could play some alternate stories that you could pay for, just to make it feel like you're doing something. And obviously, the prices need to range with it. Showcase is something that I wouldn't make $10 like I would make a character value pack. I don't even think I would make a character value pack even $10. Um, I do, if I'm not mistaken, I think they are planning on doing a lot of updates when it comes to attires and the model of the characters throughout the duration of the game. And if that's not the plan, then that's definitely something that needs to be a DLC, because I feel like there's a lot of hot attires that are out, a lot of hot looks that the characters always end up coming up with deeper within the year. And we heavily depend on community creations, but instead of doing that, it would be really cool if we had some attire packs. That'd be really nice if they could like slap up some attires. Like Hell in a Cell, maybe a Hell in a Cell pack where these superstars come out with new looks. If you want it here, buy them, and that'll be something that I would definitely be interested in. But 2K developers don't think like the common fan. So
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like the updates and everything. I feel like they should just do like me personally thinking just have monthly like pay-per-view specific attire packs that you just release for free, like a free update or something. Because I couldn't imagine paying for updated attires. Like I mean, because like the community creations is there for us to create the attires that aren't in the game, but there's nothing like the devs going in and officially putting the attire into the game, which is pretty cool. Depending on how long the game is out, it'll be cool to see certain superstars have attires for every pay per view within the years time of the game being out, and then when the next one comes out, they can potentially do it again. I don't know. We don't really have much news to go off of in terms of the next release date for the game, seeing as this is the one that's coming out, and there's a lot of anticipation around this one. So I guess we'll get news and stuff like that about the next game's installment date, later on down the line. But yeah, hopefully it is just free updates. I feel like that's something that's really cool. With NBA 2K, they do every time like new jerseys come out, they drop a free update. Here are the new jerseys, or players switch teams. We're gonna do an update. Boom, they're on different things now. I feel like that wouldn't be something too hard with this, but again, you see with GM mode and these cost slots, there are certain things that have limitations or reasons for not being in the game that are just baffling to me and confusing. So hopefully they can get sorted out and we can get some confirmation about why they are the way they are like that. So yeah, DLC, like you said, stars that didn't make the final cut, which is weird with this game have being 2 to 3 years in development. I don't know who the fuck would not make the cut in 3 years, but I mean, hey, and yeah, returning superstars are cool, I guess, but I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent about it. Like I said, I'm happy. Boogeyman, Umaga, that's awesome. They're great. They're back in the game. But it's like, I mean, I feel like they should just look into like having a legends section or like a section specifically tailored to people they can just throw in the game. You're telling me like people are gonna have to pay? Like, it's obviously speculation, but if we're just hypothetically speaking, you're telling me like people like OG fans of the series are gonna want to pay for Umaga and Boogeyman after them being in however many SVR games, kind of thing, and it's like you're not getting anything new other than the graphics of their model. You might get some new animated moves for them, but other than that, it's just like it's people we've seen before. That's just my personal take on it. I don't know how you guys feel about returning superstars potentially having to get paid for, but that's just me.
I mean, we have community creations for a reason, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, if I don't have to pay for like again speculation, if I don't have to pay for Boogeyman and Umaga, I can just go download them type shit. So I don't know. Like I said, that isn't confirmed by 2K. It's just some speculations with fans. So I'm hoping, like, if it's a legend we have never seen in this series, I'm all for that. If it's a superstar that didn't make the final cut of the roster, I'm all for paying for it. It's fine. Every year I usually just get the season pass anyway, and like the more expensive edition anyway, because I like having the DLCs as they come out. But as a fan who like isn't sure if they should buy DLCs, I don't think having Umaga or whoever other like returning legend would be a good enough incentive to pay $7, $8, $9, maybe $10 for a pack of superstars. But That's just me though. So, any other thoughts you guys want to wrap up on or talk about with the game, your expectations, or what you're looking forward to, or just anything regarding to the game?
No, I just want to add that we're really excited for this game, and we hope it doesn't flop like the previous game that came out. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Most definitely. Zaire, you got anything for us?
I want to add that the models, a lot of models have definitely been updated. I think I'm really excited for the characters that I tend to use the most, especially with like Taker and Charlotte being my favorite. So it's really great to see that their models are looking great. I am more excited to play this just because I've been like I'm pretty drained and done with 19. It's definitely done wonders, but I'm happy that we're having a new 2K. I just really hope that the wait is worth it, and I really hope 2K did not mess up with this one. I really hope so.
Most definitely agree with you on that 100% too, because it's like I've been like over the past 2 or so years, like 19 has been regarded as one of the best like 2K wrestling games. It's in a lot of people's like A to S tier, and I feel like it's a little bit over exaggerated, but I think it's mostly due to the fact that 20 was so bad that they were able to revert back to an older game and it'd be like a good just holding ground for them until 22 came out. So, props to 2K19, of course. Again, a lot of creators reverting a lot of their stuff from 20 back to 19 due to how just unplayable and just glitchy 20 was. So, yeah, shout out 2K19, true MVP, truthfully, bro. Yeah, man, I hope 2K gets this one right because if they don't, bro, it's like, man, like ever since I want to say like 2K17, like we've had a lot of the same, like literally the same game. Damn, dare I say, there hasn't been too much graphical change because you obviously can't change much. All those games are on the PS4, so you can't get any better than what you already got. And in terms of gameplay, they maybe have implemented maybe one or two new things. They implemented the carry system in 2K17 where you can just do like, power bombs outside the ring or on steel steps or on through tables or whatever the case is. And other than that, I'm pretty sure other things were added, but it's just
Paybacks.
paybacks. Oh yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, paybacks. Debuffs and all these things are cool that 2K has implemented, but it's not anything game breaking or anything that's gonna like want us to keep playing. Because like if you put up an image of 2K18, damn no, 2K17 to 2K like 20 and told me to pick the differences between them and like tell you which I probably wouldn't be able to because they all look the fucking same. And it's just obviously this one graphically looks a lot different, which is great. Models look great, moves, animations, certain animations look great. So just hoping that this game is
Even little things like the camera angle looks great.
right, exactly. So just any significant changes like that, just it means a lot to the fans who've been playing the games for years and just have not seen many differences. So with this game, from what we've seen a lot of cool differences. So yeah, I'm praying for this game to be fun, man. I just want to have fun and hope it works and just hope things go smoothly because like we're wrestling fans, man. We want to be able to play a wrestling game. AEW's working on their game and we've seen a little gameplay of it and it looks cool, but I feel like a lot of fans do really appreciate the simulation style, but also having that fun mixed in with it as well, not just strictly we're wrestlers. You can't set ladders up in that corner of that specific thing because that's not realistic. I fucking hate the ladder and table restrictions. Rambling on, we pretty much said our two piece and our 2 cents. Like Jason said, we're gonna come and review the game later on. Obviously not as soon as it drops, but as we've had our hands on it for a minute and play it, we're gonna give our thoughts on everything. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. We're gonna have more episodes out about anything. Like I said in the intro, this podcast is not only about wrestling, not only about basketball. It's just our interest in whatever we want to sit down and talk about. So there's gonna be some topics that are kind of off the wall, maybe, or like things you wouldn't expect people to really talk about on a podcast. But that's what it's for. It's open. It's free. It's whatever you want it to be. So thank everyone for watching. Leave a like, comment what you thought. Let us know what you guys think about the game. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Catch you guys later.
Peace.